Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself. You show up, you put in the hours, you do what you're told. You keep your head down, stay out of drama, and just grind. And yet somehow, year after year, the promotions go to someone else. The recognition goes somewhere else. And you're left standing there wondering what the heck you're doing wrong. Here's the truth: nobody at your company is ever going to tell you it's probably not your work that's the problem. It's your habits. The unconscious, invisible, deeply ingrained habits that are slowly, quietly, systematically dismantling your career from the inside out. Today we're going in hard. No corporate sugarcoating, no feel-good fluff. Just real talk about the 11 toxic workplace habits that are killing your career, and most people don't even know they are doing them. This isn't about being a bad employee. Most people with these habits are actually good, hard-working people. But somewhere along the way, they picked up patterns of behavior that signal the wrong things to the wrong people. And in the corporate world, perception isn't just reality, it is your career. So if you've ever felt overlooked, undervalued, or stuck in a loop you can't seem to break out of, pay close attention. Because what I am about to share could change everything. Let's start with the one that's going to sting a little. You think saying yes to everything makes you look like a team player. You think it makes you indispensable. But here's what's actually happening when you never push back, never set boundaries, never say I can take that on, but something else will need to wait. You train people to see you as a resource, not a leader. Leaders have capacity management. Leaders communicate priorities. A person who just absorbs work without ever filtering it looks overwhelmed, disorganized, and frankly, like someone who doesn't trust their own judgment. The fix? Start practicing the strategic yes. When you take something on, tell your manager what it means for your other deliverables. That single habit shift signals strategic thinking over just compliance. You fixed the bug before the client noticed. You caught the error in the report before the VP saw it. You smoothed over the conflict before it became a thing. You're out here doing elite-level work and nobody knows. This is one of the most punishing habits in corporate life because it rewards you with nothing. When you solve problems in silence, you deprive yourself of visibility, credit, and the narrative of being someone who handles high-stakes situations. The move is to communicate proactively, not in a braggy way, in a professional way. Hey, I noticed X was going sideways. I took care of it by doing Y, and here's what I put in place so it doesn't happen again. That's not boasting. That's executive communication. And that's what gets people promoted. Nobody is going to walk up to you and say, hey, we've decided you're ready to lead now. Here's your crown. That is not how it works. Leadership is something you demonstrate before you're given the title, not after. If you're waiting for a promotion to start acting like a leader, you've got the whole thing backwards. Organizations promote people who are already doing the job at the next level. So ask yourself honestly, are you operating at your current level or at the level above it? The people getting promoted are the ones who run meetings like owners, who think about the team's success, not just their own tasks, who bring solutions instead of just escalating problems. Start doing that now, and the title tends to follow. Listen, your emotions are valid, every single one of them. But the boardroom, the open office, the Slack channel, those are not the right venues for them. When you visibly deflate after critical feedback, when you get quietly resentful after being passed over, when your frustration bleeds into your tone on a team call, people notice. And what they notice isn't the emotion itself, it's what it signals about your readiness for pressure. High-stakes roles come with high-stakes stress. Managers and executives are unconsciously asking themselves one question about everyone around them: can this person handle more? When you wear every reaction on your face and in your body language, you're answering that question with a hard no. Build your game face. Process the emotion, just do it off the clock and off the floor. You know that person in the meeting who gives you the full backstory, the context, the history, the nuance, the caveats, and by the time they finish talking, you've completely lost the point. Don't be that person. In corporate environments, clarity is currency. The higher up you go, the less time people have and the more they need you to lead with the conclusion, not build up to it. This is called bottom line, upfront communication, and it is a career superpower. Instead of "so I've been looking at the data And there are a few things I want to walk through, and then eventually we can discuss what it might mean for Q3 try. We have a problem in Q3, and I have 3 options for us to consider. One of those sounds like a leader. The other sounds like someone still figuring out what they think. If the only time you reach out to people in your professional network is when you need a referral, a favor, or a job, you don't have a network. You have a list of people who are about to be mildly annoyed by you. Real professional relationships are built when nothing is at stake. They are built through genuine curiosity, through sharing something useful, through congratulating someone on a win, through showing up to the team happy hour when you'd rather be home. The people who move fast in their careers tend to have a deep web of relationships built on genuine goodwill, and when an opportunity shows up, those relationships do the work. Start investing before you need to withdraw. This one right here has ended more careers than almost anything else. Talking about colleagues behind their backs. Venting your frustrations with leadership to peers. Getting pulled into the office drama, the hallway whispers, the group chat that talks about everyone. It feels safe. It feels human. It feels like bonding. But here is what's actually happening. You are building a reputation as someone who cannot be trusted with information, cannot be put in a room with sensitive conversations, and cannot be elevated without becoming a liability. Because gossip travels. It always travels, and eventually it circles back. The discipline here is almost monastic. Keep your thoughts about people professional and keep them moving upward, not sideways. Vent to a mentor, a journal, a trusted friend outside the company, not your co-workers. Being busy and being effective are 2 completely different things, and the corporate world is full of people who have perfected the performance of busyness. Always in meetings, always rushing, always with a full calendar and an overflowing inbox, and the words slammed perpetually in their vocabulary. But what are they actually producing? What problems have they solved? What outcomes have they driven? Here's the uncomfortable truth: organizations reward impact, not activity. And when it comes time for performance reviews and promotion decisions, your manager isn't counting your hours. They are counting your wins. Start ruthlessly auditing your time. Ask yourself every week, what result did I actually move forward? If the answer is unclear, your career direction might be just as murky. The longer you let a hard conversation sit, the worse it gets. Every time. The colleague who's undermining your work. The manager who keeps taking credit for your ideas. The performance issue on your team that everyone sees but nobody addresses. Every week you delay, the problem compounds, the resentment builds, and the story you're telling yourself about the situation gets more distorted. High performers handle things directly and early. They have the awkward conversation before it becomes a crisis. They address the issue before it becomes a pattern. And they do it without drama, without emotion, and with an outcome in mind. Avoiding conflict doesn't make you easy to work with, it makes you someone others have to work around. There is a version of professionalism that becomes a cage. You do your job. You stay in your lane. You don't step on toes. You don't offer opinions outside your domain. And you wonder why you feel invisible. The people who get tapped for big projects, big roles, and big opportunities are the ones who show intellectual curiosity that crosses department lines. They ask smart questions in meetings outside their area. They volunteer for cross-functional initiatives. They build a reputation as someone who thinks about the business, not just their function. Your lane is a starting point, not a destination. The people who go far are the ones who gradually, strategically, expand their lane until they are operating at a level where the organization simply cannot afford to overlook them. And this is the big one. The one that quietly underlies every habit on this list. Most people approach their careers completely reactively. They wait for their manager to give them feedback. They wait for an opportunity to appear. They wait for someone to notice their potential. They have no written goals, no development plan, no mentor relationships, no deliberate strategy. They just show up and hope that hard work and time will somehow translate into advancement. It won't, not in today's environment. The most dangerous place you can be in your career is comfortable, because comfort kills urgency, urgency kills intention, and without intention you have no direction. Treat your career like the business it is. Know where you want to go. Know what you need to build to get there, and pursue it with the same energy you give your employer every single day. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. None of these habits make you a bad person. Most of them developed because at some point in some environment they felt safe or reasonable or even necessary. But safety and growth rarely live in the same zip code. The workplace is not a meritocracy that automatically rewards your effort. It is a system complex, political, sometimes unfair, and the people who thrive in it are the ones who understand how it actually works, not how they wish it worked. So start small. Pick 2 or 3 of these habits that hit close to home. Be honest with yourself about where you've been playing it too safe, staying too quiet, or operating too far below your potential. And this is the part that separates the people who watch videos like this from the ones who actually change, do something different tomorrow. Your career doesn't need luck. It needs you to wake up to the habits that are holding you back. And once you do that, everything changes. Embed lean. And this is your reminder that the system isn't going to change for you, so you have to learn how to change within it. See you in the next one.